Kim, I think Erica's in the waiting room.
Played with this a little bit, didn't they?
Didn't I just see him? Oh, he's here. Senator Young. He's here.
Excellent. Who are we? What are we here?
I think everybody's here now. I'll get him.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Voting session on the relief bill. It's actually our bill, or the Senate's bill, Senate 496. Of course, it's been over in the House. They made some modifications. I know you all have heard there's been a lot of debate about some of the amendments that they had. That amendment that created a lot of controversy is going to be removed from the bill. So what we're doing is we're going to pre-vote what we believe will be given shortly, in a couple hours, I guess, maybe less, to concur with what the House has done. Matt's going to go through the amendments, but the gist is our program was modified by about a third. So 2/3 of our program is still there. A couple little modifications to the governor's program, but we'll get into that, and then a couple additions that they put in. And again, the other amendment that has been offered over there on the floor and in committee and going back and forth, the one that everyone's been talking about, is not going to be part of the bill that comes over to us, in which we're going to be asked to concur with. It's my opinion we should. So with that, Matt?
All right, so this is Senate Bill 496, the Relief Act, and the committee is looking to concur in the proposed Ways and Means amendments. You should have in front of you a copy of the amendments that Ways and Means, I think, offered on the floor, and then a reprint of those amendments for you to look through. I'm going to go through the high level, what the amendments do, and then we can drill down as needed if that works for everybody. Amendment number 1 is technical. It's the purpose paragraphs, function paragraphs. Amendment number 2 limits the eligibility for the subtraction modification for unemployment insurance benefits to only tax years 2020 and 2021, and then also means tests the subtraction modification for individuals whose federal adjusted gross income does not exceed certain amounts. I believe the amounts are 75 and 100,000 for married filing jointly versus individual. Amendment number 3 increases for tax years 2020 through 2022 the percentage of the federal earned income tax credit used for determining the amount of the refundable Maryland earned income tax credit, and then alters for those tax years the calculation for the individuals without children. They would receive a 100% of their federal credit for those tax years, and I believe it ups it to 45% for people with children.
From a cost perspective, this is where from our program that was sort of given up to pay for, this was the big chunk of it.
Actually, Chairman, I actually would like to understand that a little bit more. So ours report on this, how do they compare with each other? I guess that's what I'm asking.
Well, this amendment is completely new to the bill.
Right.
The issue is completely new to the bill.
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought you said it. Oh, you're just saying it was used to pay for this.
Correct.
I misunderstood. Thank you.
Yep.
Amendment number 4 relates to the pass-through entities bill from last year. This one is really a non-substantive correction. It puts in a subtraction modification that should have been part of the bill last year. This just needs to go into place because filing season starts next week, and so this will fix an issue that the comptroller's having with the pass-through entities. Amendment number 5 provides that for the period beginning, amendment number 5 is related to the unemployment insurance payments, and it basically says that if the rate determinations, as the bill came in, it said you can throw out calendar year 20, which was going to be a bad year for people. But it then says, well, wait a minute, if calendar year 20 actually helps you, you don't have to throw out calendar year 20. It's only if it hurts you, you have to throw it out. And then it also creates a deferment process for the Secretary of Labor to help smooth anybody's who can't meet their unemployment insurance payment obligations.
So this is the 1 year where you don't have to pay your premium, although you will have to pay it the next year. It's really just a cash flow thing. It's optional. If businesses find it useful, they'll use it. If they don't, they'll pay their full payment this year, and then they'll only have to pay the same payment next year. If they feel it's not worth it, I mean, so you get it.
Amendment number 6 relates to the vendor sales tax credit. And this would, as the bill came in, this was a 4-month credit that you could claim against the taxes, the sales taxes that you needed to remit over the next 4 months after the bill passes. This takes it down to 3 months. Amendment number 7 limits eligibility for the economic impact payments under the bill to just tax year 2019. If you remember, as the bill came in, there were 2 economic relief payments that were going to be made, one representing 2019, one representing 2020. And this one, it would just have the payments for 2019, and I think they would be $500 family and $300 individual. Amendment number 8 alters the amount allocated under the Recovery Now Fund and strikes provisions transferring funds from the blueprint for Maryland's future. Those, I think the intent there was that it'll be addressed through a supplemental budget at some point. And in addition, there's funds that are authorized to be used through the Strategic Energy Investment Fund to be used for grants to utility companies to help eliminate individuals' arrearages that they have with the utility companies.
Yeah, that was, other than the earned income tax credit provisions, which added money or cost, and that are agreeing to reduce some of ours paid for, this was another one that had some additional cost to it. I think it ended up to being about $30 million of general funds,
Yep.
in addition to these
The
was it
CEF funds.
It's other than
and-
the CEF funds.
Yeah, and there
So
were
it actually ends up being close to I think it ends up close to $90 million.
right. There was money in CEF, and then there was money from a settlement that PSC had that is going to be used towards this.
Just to clarify that, so the total is about 90,
Yes.
and how much is CEF, how much is the settlement, and how much is?
It's like 30, 30, 30.
Okay. all right.
General funds, CEF, and
Thir-
settlement.
General funds were 30.
We already had 9 in, so I think they just added 21.
Yeah, there's 23 from the Alta Gas settlement, and then 30 coming from CEF. So it's 30, 30, 23.
And we had how much from where?
We had 9 in already for energy.
From general,
Yes,
and they added all the other stuff they added.
correct.
Gotcha, thank you.
Senator Eckert?
Yes, does that amendment include the information about the disparity grants?
That should be in there still. Should be $5 million.
Right. And we had that in, or did we
Last
not?
I saw.
Okay, and then they modified all the other amounts to the various programs.
Right. There were some modifications, but
So is there an amendment that modifies all of our stuff?
yeah,
Which
it would
amendment
be
does
it would be amendment number 8. It's probably
It's
easier
8.
to see in the reprint if
Yep.
you start looking
Yeah,
on
it
page.
I just was curious.
Yeah, most of our programs took million here, million there. At the end of the day, let me see if I can get the numbers right in my head. So, as you may recall, our program was 520. $100 million of it was blueprint, right? So that's not, that wasn't part of sort of the general fund money. So now we're down to 420, okay? Of that 420, they funded about 280, which ends up being 2/3 of what we put forward. Then in addition, they added another 50 million from the blueprint for a total of 150. So it all, at the end of the day, the program was about 1.1, 1.2 billion, and it still is. Yes, sir.
Page 9 on the reprint, is that?
Page 9 is where
Yes.
the
That's
where
the-
where
that's
the
the line
Senate's
item.
amendment started.
Yeah.
So any changes from page 9 on are going to be changes the House made to the Senate amendment.
Okay, so
Yeah.
strike through and whatever on the left is what it is. Okay,
Yep.
all right. Thank you, sorry.
I believe the disparity grants that Senator Eckert was asking about are going to be on page 16.
done with broadband and our big co.
Yeah, all of those took a little hit.
They took a big hit, yeah. Okay,
Every one of our programs took a hit.
yep.
Some of them, they wanted to get rid of entirely. Yeah, this chart's a little hard to read on page 9.
Sure.
Yeah, because you have to keep following it down to the next line. So like if you just look at Maryland Arts Council, 10 is gone, but then you have to follow it down to the next line over on the left, and it ends up being 5 million.
Our reprint system does not like tables.
So I'll be looking for a motion to concur.
So moved.
Any further questions? Yes, sir.
But just to double verify this, we're going to move to concur based on the assumptions coming back how you said it was coming back.
Correct.
If it doesn't come back that way,
Then we got a whole nother long night ahead of us.
okay.
Okay?
Gotcha.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Hands up, please.
Hands up.
Unanimous. Thank you all very much.
So, Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
so we're gonna go back over and we're